Hi there, welcome to part 2 in this Cub Cadet 149 transformation to a tractor loader backhoe. In this video, I'm going to be pulling this fender off, taking the engine out, cleaning up the frame, and checking out the inside of the rear differential. Enjoy. So to get this rear fender off of this Cub Cadet, it's held on by several bolts that are on the footrest here, as well as bolts underneath this seat. I've already removed the bolts under the seat, and the ones on this footrest are proving to be pretty difficult. These are slotted screws, if you can see right here, and then the slot combined with the rust that's inside the threads it makes this screw very, very difficult to remove. The slots instantly strip, so I'm here. But I have a way to get these out, and I'm going to show you that right now. I'm going to use this Irwin screw grip impact extractor set. I chuck that up into my electric impact wrench here. But before I use this tool, I'm going to use a center punch the center of each screw, and then use this 1/8 inch drill bit to drill a hole. Check it out. Okay, now that these screws have little pilot holes in them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this spiral end of this impact extractor bit, I'm going to put it in reverse, and then I'm going to drill this out, and you'll see that screw just come right out. Just like that. I'll do it with the rest of them, and then we'll pull this fender off. So now my next step is to remove this engine, but before I do, I'm going to go underneath the tractor. I'm going to blow all the dirt and grime off with compressed air so I can see where the mounting bolts are. Before I remove the mounting bolts of the engine, I'm going to have to remove that roll pin from that drive shaft. And while I'm at it with the compressor, I'm going to blow off all the junk and buildup that's around here too. Okay, so I've blown off the majority of debris that's on the bottom of this engine, and I've located two mounting bolts. Let's see if I can get a flashlight in here. Two mounting bolts, one right here. Let's see if I can get that for you. One right there, and then one on the opposite side over there. I believe these are the only two mounting bolts holding the engine in place, but we're going to find out real soon. So I'm going to remove those. And I'm also going to punch out this roll pin so I can get the drive shaft off, and then hopefully we can lift this engine right out. Okay, so I've discovered 2 more mounting bolts, which makes sense. They are directly above the axle, right here, right above where my finger reaches. So I think my plan to get it out is I'm going to jack the frame of the tractor up and then try to tilt this axle enough in the opposite direction where I can get a socket through here. It's a 9/16 inch head, and try to get that out. If I'm unsuccessful with that, I'm going to have to remove the axle completely so I can get to those bolts. We'll see what happens. So this worked. So I jacked up the tractor and now I can tilt the axle down enough. I can't fit my socket wrench in there, but I can use this combination wrench with this little flexible end. This will work great in getting it out. Good thing I have skinny hands to get my hands in here to finish this out. I'm having to turn the rest of the bolt with just these 2 parts of my fingers doing this little exercise in dexterity. And there it is, bolt number 3. So I'm going to go do the one on the other side, and then we'll pull this engine out. So here is the engine. It's pulled out. This is a Kohler K321 14 horse engine. There's the oil pan down here. Alright, let's check out the rest of this tractor. Alright, now we're going to remove this front fender from this tractor. It's held on with these 4 bolts right here. And they're all 9/16 inch heads, so I'm going to use this 9/16 inch wrench with my impact tool, and we're going to get these off. Doesn't look like I need this. The nuts are actually welded to the bottom here, so let's just zip them off. There's 1. There's 2. 3. It's like an episode of Sesame Street. Teaching you how to count too. And 4. Oh, this one I need an extension to get that to fit. Be right back. 4. And there you have it. The front end comes right off. And this is made out of cast iron. Boy, is this heavy. That's one of the reasons that International Harvester was so popular, and these Cub Cadets were so widely sold and long admired. Okay, so now I've got the surrounding area around this rear cover to the transaxle cleaned off enough for me to take this cover off. So I'm going to take this cover off. A bunch of oil is going to leak out of here into this catch bucket, and then we're going to examine the inside of the gears and make sure that everything's good before we proceed with this build. Alright, this cover should pop right off, but it looks like we're going to have to give it a little bit of a tap to get it off since it's been on here for 40 plus years. Here it comes. And as you can see, the fluid coming out is actually pretty clean. So that's a good sign. It's a nice clear color. See if I can tap this out a little bit more so we can see all of it. Here comes all the oil coming out. We'll let that drain and then we'll take a look in the transmission. Okay, so what you guys are looking at is the inside of the rear differential on this Cub Cadet 149. This large gear here on the right hand side is the ring gear. That ring gear takes power from the input gear, which is up in the front. Let me see if I can get that in focus for you right up there. That little gear right in front of us meshes with this ring gear. And the difference between that input gear and this ring gear is called the axle ratio, and that's what transfers and increases the amount of torque that you deliver to the wheels. So the power comes in from that input bevel gear up in the front, comes to this ring gear, and then that power is transferred to the axles via these spider gears. And these spider gears are responsible for allowing your two tires to turn independently. So when they turn, when you make a turn on the tractor, one wheel travels slightly faster than the other. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to inspect each of the teeth on all of the gears to make sure there are no chips or cracks. I'm going to check for normal wear. I'm going to check the bottom of the differential to see if there are any metal chips down there. If there's any metal material down there, that'll give me some clues as to potential damage in the gear teeth. So I'm going to check that out, and then when I'm done examining it, I'm going to put the cover back on and then finish disassembling the rest of this tractor. And there you have it, part 2 of the Cub Cadet 149 transformation to tractor loader backhoe. Please subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with all of our upcoming videos. In video number 3, part 3, I'm going to be removing the rest of the steering column as well as removing the rest of the parts and pulling the transmission out of the frame. So you're going to want to check it out. Thank you for saving the tractors.